My cousin, Evie Thorne, forgot to log out of her iMessage after borrowing my laptop. I was about to close the window for her, but my finger froze over the trackpad. A group chat notification at the bottom right corner began flashing like a frantic heartbeat. To celebrate Evie's straight A's this semester, the whole family is going out for a steak dinner tonight. My heart skipped a beat, and driven by a dark curiosity, I clicked on the message. The group had only 4 members: my dad, my mom, my younger sister, and that cousin who had been freeloading in our house. My sister, Haley, replied instantly, "It's a deal, just the 4 of us." Nobody mentioned Cillian. He is always so stingy. Remember when he tried to keep that organic apple for himself instead of giving it to Evie? Bringing him along would just ruin the vibe. I stared at the screen, my blood turning to ice. It turned out that in this so-called family, I had long since become an unwanted outsider. Right at that moment, my mother's call came through. "Cillian, your father and I have some urgent business tonight, so we might be late. Remember to bring in the laundry from the porch and fold it neatly. By the way, Haley and Evie have plans tonight, so they won't be home for dinner. Don't wait up for us. Just find some leftovers in the fridge for yourself." Before I could even mutter a response, the line went dead, leaving only a cold dial tone. I walked stiffly to the porch. My eyes were met with a sea of Haley's and Evie's bright, expensive dresses, layered and hanging like heavy curtains that suffocated me. The signs of isolation I had ignored were there all along. I had been lying to myself, desperately trying to maintain the illusion of a home. Somewhere along the line, I had become a stranger, under my own roof. I picked up the last apple from the fruit basket and took a bite. When Evie Thorne first moved in, she pouted and said she wanted an apple. My family immediately forced me to give her the one I was holding. I had patiently sliced it in half and tried to share it with her, but my mother looked at it and scolded me in front of everyone. "Who can be satisfied with just half an apple? You are so pathetic and petty." She snatched the half from Evie's hand and threw it into the trash with disgust. Then she pulled Evie toward the door with an affectionate smile. "Come on, Evie. Your auntie will take you to the gourmet market and buy you the most expensive ones. We don't care about his scraps." My own sister had glared at me, her eyes filled with nothing but contempt. "Is this really necessary, Cillian? She's family. Why do you have to be so calculative over a piece of fruit?" Even my father, usually a man of few words, just watched coldly, silently agreeing with my public trial. Back then, I naively thought my parents were just being extra polite because Evie had lost her mother and had nowhere else to go. I was dead wrong. In this 4-person celebration, I was the only uninvited guest. I gathered the laundry, folded it in silence, and returned the clothes to their warm, cozy bedrooms. Seeing their plush mattresses and thick blankets, my vision blurred for a second. I turned my head toward the porch. A small, stiff camping cot sat there, silently mocking my heartache. The day after Evie moved in, she sat at the breakfast table with dark circles under her eyes, weeping softly. Mom looked heartbroken and immediately asked if she had slept poorly. Evie hesitated, saying she was used to living alone and felt stifled sharing a room with anyone. So, to ensure her comfort, I, the biological son, was kicked out to the porch. I felt for her because she had just lost her mom, and I didn't want my mother to lose face in front of the relatives. I gritted my teeth and agreed, but my sacrifice only led to more humiliation. Because I was mature, every resource had to go to her first. Because I was mature, Mom only did laundry for Haley and Evie, while I had to fend for myself. Because I was mature,